Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. How is your Nimrod doing? I just wanted to ask because this is a Nimrod video. This is a video to talk about once again. It's I will say it's half rant, half what I am planning on doing with my power cores because I really hate the Nimrod orb. I have spoken about this in a previous video, but I feel like I need to bring this up again. I also want to talk about my thoughts on the Nimrod release and what my expectations are for the rest of the Orcus team and why I am going to be hoarding my power cores for Night Stalkers. So if you want to know all about all that and more in today's video, let's boil this down. Now, I just want to do a recap on this godforsaken, trashy orb. We have discussed this in one video already, but I feel that I have to bring this up again because it's the worst piece of shit that I have ever had to open. Like, honestly, I could not open this and it wouldn't make much of a difference. So the fact that the center pillar, once again, it's about a third of a chance to get Nimrod. It's 34.4% chance, just over a third, to get the main character of the Phase 1 orb here is godforsaken terrible. So it's like a 32.8 to get one shard. 1.2 for 10, and a 0.4 for 100, right? You know, the jackpot. And then, yeah, and then energy. Like, everything is worse than the Sentinel orb. You know, I was starting to be okay. Oh, hey, I guess more. I was almost. Oh, it's a fucking cipher. I thought that they were gonna get me there. That I was gonna get something. So this one is actually better, right? So not only is the chance for a cipher like doubled at like 8.5%, but you get a guaranteed shard, right? And we're getting slow drips, like 12 a week. We're getting in the Dark Future, anyways. We're getting about 12 shards of this, 12 orbs of this a week in Dark Future. But we're getting way more of this and more guaranteed shards than we are through Nimrod. I think I've been getting super lucky, actually. So we get one Nimrod orb every single day, but they're also currently in the Dark Dimension 8 milestone for the to Valhalla, I believe. Where is it? Is it up over here? You know, so like it was available. It is one orb on, like, this is ridiculous. Like, I can't stress how bleep and blah, 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 blah. I could do this over and over again and swear and swear and swear because I think it's stupid. One orb where it's not guaranteed shards. It's like, it's trash. Like, give us 10 or 5 per node. Like, it's just absolutely insane. I know DDA is not that difficult, but this is just terrible, and it really pisses me off. And like, even a full clear of this milestone gives you 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 17 Nimrod orbs for clearing Dark Dimension 8, which is a pretty big feat. And the whales and krakens who do clear this within 30 days do not, I'm telling you, do not need these Sentinel orb fragments or the Nimrod orbs because they're probably already purchased Nimrod, right? So why can't you throw us a goddamn bone on this? Because this is the worst. Where else do you get it? I mean, I don't know. There's fucking nowhere. Honestly, I think that's it right now. And the Nimrod's calculation is like, I don't know. There's like I think I counted. I think it was like 40 shards in here. And so this is phase 1, right? Like, we know we're starting to get the hang. We're starting to get the hang of phase 1 and what phase 1 is looking like when it comes to Marvel Strike Force. But they took what something was kind of okay with Sentinel and they made it 3 times worse. Okay, it's been a week. I have 6 Nimrod shards. I think I've actually been lucky as far as drops go. To get the I would say that I've maybe only missed his shards a couple of times now. So I've actually done pretty well for myself. But 6 is garbage. And one thing that I did want to point out is that previously the dazed left on Nimrod's calculation was different. They changed it actually within the last day, because it was different. Whereas Sentinel Siege was it was the same, right? But Nimrod's calculation was, I believe, somewhere in the 20-day range. And so this made me a bit curious as to what their plans were for Nimrod. Now, I am recording this, however, on a Tuesday. I don't know when the video is actually going to go out. And so the reason I wanted to bring up my character tracker once again, you guys might have seen this. So Nimrod, we have Nimrod down here, right? And so this was released on the 12th of September. And what's interesting is so I don't know if you guys followed Big Positive Geek at all. He did a video about Sentinel and made a comment about how he thought that Sentinel was Sentinel's release that we have this week was because we have an event coming next week. And I made allusions to this because if you follow the data mines, there is a discussion about Omega Assault, which I believe to be a tower. I believe to be it's a kiln tower, actually, which requires Orcus characters. And the reason why I brought up Big Positive Geek is because in his what he mentioned was his conversation with Ryan Jacobson, the general manager of Boundless and Marvel Strike Force, is that they didn't want any game modes to be pay gated. So they gave Sentinel an unlock early as a result of Kiln Tower coming out next week, is what I believe is to be happening. So that, there's not going to be any complaints. There is 100 shards in the current event, follow the mutants for Sentinel, and so you can get Sentinel unlocked, and you have Lady Deathstrike and Scientist Supreme for 3 characters to use in Kiln. Okay? Big Positive Geek felt that this was an exception. That Sentinel is not necessarily going to be the one character in the 30 days. That it actually is going to be Nimrod. And after discussing it with him and thinking about it for some time, there's a couple of things here. He could be right. And Nimrod is the actual character that is going to be getting that character event within 30 days. Why Fall the Mutant has a Nimrod background, I have no idea. It should be a Sentinel in the background, but hey, that's just me. But the other thing is that you don't need Nimrod to clear the tech raid. Now, I believe that with Nimrod, you can probably sim it. I'm just assuming. I haven't purchased him. Someone can let me know in the comments down below how you've been doing with Nimrod. I have the 3-piece with Sentinel, and I'm able to manual all my tech nodes. And it's not super difficult. I think it's actually kind of fun. And so Nimrod would most likely allow you to sim this, but it's by no means necessary to the current content in the game for you to have him right now. And because of that, I don't think it's a high priority for me to use my power cores on him. When I originally did my should you core for Nimrod, I was on the fence. I said maybe I might do a half unlock, something like that. I might pull for 50 cores, 50 shards. But now I'm kind of on the thing where I am so disgusted by the Nimrod Phase 1 orb that I'm just not going to engage in buying his power cores at all. I'm just gonna try and close my eyes and make myself think that he's not there, and maybe we can move on, or maybe he'll get an event, and then that'll be great, right? I'll take the 3-star unlock for Nimrod because I feel like having to put up with this orb just made me so disgusted by the character that I don't want to buy any cores. Now, the second part of this is that, which we'll get into, I suppose, when we get to Should You Core Omega Sentinel. The spoiler for that one is that I don't think that she's kind of required for the current content either to clear it. It's just going to make everything else easier. Everything that you're already doing with Orcus is going to become easier. And then when it comes to Orcus 2, which is most likely going to be in the December-January sort of period, that you're going to need them. It's going to be a little bit harder, and you're going to want the full team by that point in time. However, we're not there yet. And I'm more than ready and willing to, let that slow drip happen for these 2 characters, because I think Around the Bend is going to be much more important. I say this depending on what kind of player you are and how far in the game you are. So what am I referring to? Well, I'm referring to Night Stalkers that are going to be in, honestly, probably about 2 weeks. Omega Sentinel's offer is either going to be on Friday and just appear out of nowhere, or it's going to be on Monday. Because Omega Sentinel does have bonus points with regards to next Monday's event. There's a raid with Orcus characters, and they're giving bonus points for all 3 of the new characters, including Omega Sentinel. There's also data mines for offers for Omega Sentinel coming by next week as well. So she's going to be around early as Monday, which is September the 23rd. And so from then on, there'll be about 7 to 10 days until the first Night Stalkers character, which could very well be September the 30th, or it'll be that first week of October there, anywhere up to like October the 4th, I think, which is a Friday. So that week, which means that the patch is coming very soon when it comes to Night Stalkers. And I think that these characters are going to be much more important. We don't even have, at least as of recording this video, there hasn't even been an official announcement over the team's characters. Now, we pretty much know who they are. It's been data mined to hell. I've mentioned it a handful of times already that Moon Knight is going to be the rework. Agatha is also going to have a rework. And then we're going to be getting a Blade. We're going to be getting Man-Thing and Oath, who is Karen Page. I guess her like hero name is Oath. That's what they're calling it, and she's probably going to be an MSF original character. She's going to have that MSF original tag, I think. So as far as the studio goes, they're going to have that, which means that she's going to replace probably someone else in terms of the big apocalypse chase, because you're going to be able to use Karen or Oath as part of that. That's just my assumption. Because while Karen is a Marvel character, the creation of Oath is a brand new Marvel Strike Force thing. So I would very much expect her to have that MSF original tag. And as a result of that, I think she's going to be a very powerful character too. So two characters that are coming to the Night Stalkers team are going to be very important at the very least, and going to be characters that you're going to want to make sure that you have Power Cores for, if they are available to purchase Power Core Ores for. So Oath and Blade we've already been told by the envoys related to Dark Dimension 8 that Blade, we know, and I mentioned this too, Blade is not a legendary character, right? But he is going to be a very incredibly powerful character that not only you're going to want for Dark Dimension 8, but that kind of just, they could be just hyping him up, but he's going to be good. Like don't ask why I know, but he's going to be good. And so I don't know how exactly he is going to be released. However, I have made some speculation that he is going to be released through an Ares style battle pass, because Ares' battle pass kind of ends, I think, around like October 20th or somewhere in that range, whatever that Monday is. That's the last week of the Ares battle pass, and we very well could see a Blade battle pass for 3 months. If not, however, he will most likely have a core orb. Who knows? Maybe he might have a hybrid release where he is a pass, but also does have a core orb as well and has some offers too. I don't know. But the thing is, what I do know is that I need power cores to be able to unlock these Night Stalker characters. And until I know more about specifically their kits and which of those are more important, I do think at this point having the Orcus 3 with Sentinel is more than enough to do a lot of the things in the game already, especially the Orcus raids, and even more so if you're only running like D0 or D1 Orcus raids. Super easy with the 3-piece. You could sim it actually with 3-piece on D0 and 1. D2 and above, you do need to manual that, so take that with a grain of salt as well. This is my main account here sitting on 5,700 cores. Like I said, I'm recording this on Tuesday, September the 17th. I don't know when the video is actually going live, but that's like my cores that it sits right now. So I'm not going to be spending any of this on Nimrod. I am not going to be spending any of this on Omega Sentinel, and I'm going to let this stack up for a good couple of weeks until the first Night Stalker's character. And I don't know if it's going to be in the order of Man-Thing, Oath, and Blade. Who knows? Maybe Blade's actually at the start and he's not a Battle Pass release. I'm not sure. What I do know, though, is that most of these characters are going to be very powerful. The flip side, and why I said it depends on what kind of player you are, is because if you're someone who thinks you might get Odin within the next month and a half, I have been told that Odin and Mephisto combined basically means you probably won't need Night Stalkers for Orcus Mystic D3 Orcus 1 D3. So where you will probably need Night Stalkers, though, however, is like I said about the rest of the Orcus team, is going to be for Orcus 2, when that comes out probably in December, January, because I have this feeling that they're going to have to somehow nerf mythic characters, because now we have Mephisto and we have Odin that are both mythic mystic characters, and they're going to have to find some way to force players into building the Night Stalkers team beyond just the mods or giving negative mods to mythic mystic characters. I don't know, but that's something that they're going to have to take into consideration, because as it sits right now, and given that Odin doesn't take that long to unlock in the grand scheme of things, like he's not a Mephisto by any means, with how many people are unlocking him this quickly, that they're going to have to think about how they all work out and why people are still going to want to build the Night Stalkers team. I have no doubts that they are going to do that, and I have no doubts that the Night Stalkers team are going to be very powerful. And I think that if you're nowhere near either Mephisto or Odin, or nowhere near Odin, then you are definitely going to still want to consider the Night Stalkers team, just like my alt account is. But even with my main, I'm still struggling using Mephisto, believe it or not, on highest Orcus raid. And so I will, take whatever means I can to make it a little bit easier on myself or to be able to sim it reliably. So I will be looking forward to this team. There are also going to be new era teams as well. And we're going to have to see how that pans out too. But without a doubt, I think Blade is going to be a very powerful character on Marvel Strike Force and something that you're going to want to, have some cores in the bank for that character or those characters plural with Oath as well. And so I just don't think that right now Nimrod and Omega Sentinel is of a very high priority. I think you're going to want to, save these up for something that's a little bit more. And so I do think that Nimrod is a tiny bit of a trap. Feel that he's might be baiting people into spending cores for him. He's not a bad character by any means. I just don't think he's one that you need right now. That's the only thing, is what I'm saying. So that's going to be the end of this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Do you have Nimrod, or are you waiting like I am? I'd love to know all that in the comments down below. So until next time, everybody, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see y'all later, and good luck on your DD8 chases and all that this week. Boilon, signing out.